Hey guys, how are we? Looks like I started a bit of a stir in regards to using a yacht to escape Australia. It was a bit of tongue-in-cheek, but there's a bit of truth to it. I did actually look at acquiring a yacht to make my own escape, but look, it's not for everyone, and I certainly don't suggest that if you've never sailed before and you're not used to the open ocean. It's not for the faint-hearted. So things are changing here. Got the shock of my life the other night. So I was listening to a American radio station, and they said that Europe had just imposed 3,600 euro fines and a prison time, and after the second month, $7,200 euro fine for those that hadn't been genetically modified. So that certainly caused a bit of a stir, particularly for me and a few of my friends that I quickly sort of messaged and just said, hey, have you heard of this? And it was reported to have come from RT. So it turns out it's not a blanket thing for Europe, it was just for Austria. In saying that, it still is a real worry in regards to where things are going, because Austria could be just the beginning, could be the thin edge of the wedge, as they say. So yeah, certainly interesting times here. So we're keeping a real eye on what's happening in regards to mandates, and I certainly don't like that sort of stuff. To me, that is the epitome of tyranny. Whether or not they actually end up instigating that and making it law, I don't know, but I certainly don't even like the fact that Ursula, whatever her name is, from the European Union has basically said we need to put it on the table. I hope Ursula's taken her shots. So anyway, things are looking very interesting. So that means that we've been doing a bit of a deep dive and researching different places, locations, going into depth to see what the best sort of location is going to be. Just to give you an example of that, I just looked at Mexico. So I compared a city in Mexico, which is actually quite a nice tourist hub, with my home city of Brisbane, Queensland, Australia, and just looked at the cost differences. It's 87% cheaper to live in this particular city in Mexico than it is to live in Brisbane. 87%. Now, in saying that, one of the other key indicators that we're looking at, particularly with a finance economics background, I'm looking at the GDP per capita. That's going to be a good indicator as to the quality of the infrastructure. Some places in Mexico have really good infrastructure, similar to that of the US. Other places are complete dives, and the infrastructure is going to be really crap. Healthcare in Mexico is, well, if you've got permanent residency, you've got access to their medical system, which is actually pretty cheap. But you can also get, a bit noisy down there, you can also get private healthcare, which is actually quite affordable. For our healthcare, we use a health insurance company called something or other Wings. I'll put a link in the description below, and you can check them out. they're actually pretty reasonable. So there's different options for that sort of stuff, but what shocked me was the actual difference in cost of living. 87% is massive. Now I do need to do some more research on that, because that seems extraordinary, but from what I can tell, it seems legit. But GDP per capita for Mexico is about 8,000 US dollars per year, and Australia I think is around 58,000 US dollars per year, so a bit of a difference there. But you can certainly see the difference in infrastructure between Australia and some parts of Mexico. So just keep that in mind if you're making that decision to move. Then keep that in mind, because infrastructure is not going to be uniform right across the country. If you don't have enough money to get by in Mexico, so to get permanent residency, you're going to have to do a 6-month border run. Every 180 days you'll have to cross the border and then come back, and you're not going to be able to work in Mexico. So if you do, you're not going to be able to get back across the border. They won't let you back in. So it's the same here with me and my permanent residency in the EU. I don't have access to the market, so no market access. I've got to earn all my dollars online. So just keep that in mind. Don't fall afoul of that, because you might think you're clever, but you're always going to get caught out. That's why it's important to have different income streams. If you're not looking at that already, you need to start to be looking at that if you're looking at going over, or you need to have a really good nest egg. Probably both would be good. So yeah, that's kind of what we've been looking at in the last couple of days. It's been terrible weather, so I haven't done any videos, but it's been a fine morning this morning. But give you an example. In Australia, for example, medium cost for renting a property in Australia nationwide, so this is not, say, Brisbane or Sydney or Melbourne, this is sort of just a nationwide, it's about just under $500 a month, which is just under maybe $2,000 a month. Average monthly income in Australia is about $5,220 off the top of my head. So you can see that pretty much straight away. You've got fairly high rental costs. Mexico is probably not too different if you look at their income per the local currency. So the average monthly income in Mexico for a Mexican in peso, or Mexican pesos, is about 30%. So, but the good thing is, if you're earning, say, money in US dollars or Australian dollars online, you can basically leverage that currency against it. So to give you an example, an average rental property in some parts of Mexico is about 460 US dollars $460 US a month, which is actually not that expensive at all. And that's just for like a unit or something. So we'll be going into a bit of a deep dive into different locations, comparing them to different cities. And then you can get a feel for what's good value, what's not. We can look at some Asian countries, though I don't recommend Asian countries at this point in time, purely because I think we're heading for a kinetic conflict. So yeah, but anyway, you can, if that's what interests you, then yeah, by all means go for it. Certainly something that you could look at, but we'll certainly do a few deep dives on different cities in Asia that you can look at, and you may like some of those. And So I just thought I'd share that with you because yeah, things are changing pretty rapidly, and I was looking at really facilitating people to relocate to, say, Europe. Europe's put a bit of a spanner in the works on that one. And what I sort of came up with was the idea of basically saying, look, I'll give you the information, tell you what it means, and then you can make the decision for yourself. So in the next month or so, I'll be launching a bit of a newsletter that you can subscribe to for a certain amount of money per month. Haven't decided on that yet, but that'll give you some good ideas and allow you to get the information at your fingertips to compare those different locations, different prices, and that's what you want to do. You don't want to make that decision without having that information. So stay tuned with that, and as I said, I'll do one deep dive maybe once a week or so. I'm going to do a bit of a different format. Tried to do that yesterday and just couldn't get it working. So me and all my infinite wisdom tried to make it more complicated than what it needed to be with various camera and different things like Rode Procasters and all this sort of stuff. So anyway, I'm going to try and keep it simple and do a deep dive so you can actually see the figures and all the graphs and all that sort of stuff. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to like and subscribe this channel. Hit the bell notification. And if you like this video, hit the like button. We'll keep you up to date on what things are happening, particularly in Europe and around other parts of the world. I know my sights are on Mexico at the moment, though I did see some activity with some, what do you call it, cartel action the other day, but I think if you're in the right location, it's not going to make any difference. So anyway, guys, look, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Don't forget to go to the Facebook group Overseas Exiles and sign up. And also the forum on the website, on our website, and our website is currently down. We'll be down maybe for a day or so because we're just making some tweaks and putting them on more powerful servers, just because you don't know these things when you set it up and you think that certain specifications are going to be sufficient enough, but when you get the analytics back in on basically server performance and CPU, etc., that's it's not always the case. So anyway, stay attuned with that, but we'll have it up and running. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll speak to you soon.